Well, good morning. It's good to be back after last week's. It was just a slow, really low key week for me last week. Going home from work, ill on Tuesday. So it's nice to have a couple weeks where it's been really low with holidays, and we're excited because we get our Marine son back in town this week. So it's been nice to do that. And I this is not a new sweatshirt. This is a beloved sweatshirt. But I didn't have my glorious return last week to be able to come after a great weekend. So I thought we'd just spend the morning talking about some facts of the Chicago Bears victory over the Packers last week. Because I have to read this one, and then we'll move on. But you have to humor me because it's so few times in the last 20 years that I've had victories over the Packers. And this is the stat that's good. The Chicago Bears win probability was as low as 0.5% before recovering the onside kick out of the 2-minute warning, which was the fifth most improbable win in the NFL since 2016. So I will move on from that. But it is, if you saw anything on my social media, I have enjoyed watching meme after meme of the final throw with various Titanic music and other things happening. It's been good. Even with the Bears' tough loss at San Francisco on Sunday, it's a different feel. So, yeah, thanks. It's good to talk about it. You're all good people to tolerate the few victories we get against the Packers. So forgive me for living it up. Nonetheless, we're here to talk about the final week of surviving winter. Hopefully, last week you had a chance to read through that email and see the handout that was posted. Tried to give the link for some Christmas light visits over the final days. I think tonight is the last night that any exist. That people can do that. So if you track down that post, there'll be one more evening to be able to get out after 4 o'clock when the sun's down and do things. So I wanted to highlight what was in the final week email about endurance and perseverance, because clearly as December wraps up, we still have January and February of some cold, long, dark months, even into March, and we know that snow can show up in April. So it is a really good theme to talk about perseverance. Was recommending that it really is helpful when we do it connected with people, and we really lean on them to be able to do things, such as um, when you can use ideas with them to bring other parts, if you love spring, summer, fall, and find ways to work on that in winter, whether it's gathering equipment that you need for activities that are going on, people who are creative and they're blessed to be able to travel away from Wisconsin this time of year and get to places that are warm or sunny or beachy or whatever else. Those are really good things to be able to do. Recognizing that motivation, when we are tired and don't want to do anything, motivation can increase with connection with others. So highlighting that about how important it is when you don't feel like you have the energy, somebody else near you might have the energy and pull you across that finish line or get you to the start line to be able to do things. And then finally, recommending that the more you can find new activities to do each winter, things that you maybe have not done before that other people have enjoyed, that kind of new variety in winter can help you persevere and endure as well as you go forward. So the actual facts I wanted to mention was a website or an article that came out from the University of Washington talking about the impact of getting through winter and the value of connecting with others as it happens. Now, the caveat here is they talked about preparing for the Seattle freeze in winter. You know, not quite like Wisconsin when we have the 8 inches of snow and 20 below wind chill and everything else, but nonetheless, they feel it as darkness. So, a couple highlights from that article. They quoted a stat from the University of Washington psychologist or researcher, rather, that was in this article, said that there are some studies that suggest prolonged isolation is worse on your health than smoking 15 cigarettes a day and is highly correlated with high rates of mental health concerns. So prolonged isolation is a pretty severe kind of factor, and why we finished the month talking about connecting with others. Gave some suggestions, such as when you're trying to churn up some people to connect with and you don't want to feel that rejection, you're just trying to cast a wide net. They recommended inviting people without pressure. So, hey, I'm planning to go to a book reading tonight. If you're feeling like coming, I'd love to see you there. If not, I'll send you the highlights, which I thought was a creative way to have a kind of an indirect invitation to be able to do something. Because maybe it plants a seed, it generates some interest, and you have an opportunity to meet with someone and follow up and describe what's going on. But a good indirect way to get people coming. And finally, they said a way to stay connected with others is to remind them often of their value or their place or importance in your life or others that you care about. So to be able to communicate that, we've talked about that often, of the value of communication through direct means, through subtle means, through mailing them things. All of that is good. And I think it leads to some of that homework I was mentioning in the email of, can you take some time and let the people know that are closest to you about how valuable they are to you? This helps deepen and strengthen that relationship as you go forward, because you don't know when you'll need those people around you to be able to do something, to feel encouraged during winter as it continues, and you have to persevere and endure over the next few months. So it brings us to a couple of our questions. The first one I thought is, what is an activity you've been invited to do that you were hesitant at first to do, but now you really enjoy? Is there something you've done through the course of your life that you're like, I don't want to do that? Someone got you there, dragged you there, you tried it out, and now you enjoy it. We'll keep doing it. I would certainly think that there's people who've done the river dip with Bill that thought, never in my life, and now they don't miss. I am not one of those people, but just recognizing that they do exist. But any other examples of activities that you now find helpful to be connected with others that you didn't think would happen? Coming to the gym. Always the right answer on questions. Any others? Mexican train for Domino's? Wow. There we go, Terry. That's a great example. The follow-up question is that, is there a way that you default to demonstrate to someone that they have real value to you? What is your preferred way to let somebody know that you appreciate them, that they're important to you? Because let's not underestimate the value of doing that over the next few months, whether it's in your closest proximity or somebody that's just a degree or two away from you. When you want to express that they are important to you, what's your default way to do that? Postcards? Nice. Bison postcard from Uncle Bill. That's a pretty good status right there. Yeah, yeah. Any others? Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Not just communicating a regard for them, but saying, this is what you did that was so meaningful to me. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because some people might not know what it is about them. Some people come around and immediately you have a smile on your face, right? They might want to know. They may not realize that that's the kind of presence that they have. I mean, I walk in the gym and everybody smiled when I was here with this sweatshirt on. So I understand what it's like to walk in a room and encourage everybody right away. So be thinking about those questions as you go through the week, because I think it is just something to start to dig into as we go into January and February. And it's like, what are you looking forward to in those first few months of the year? Sometimes people have to work on it, and people can be the difference. Getting together with people can be the difference to persevere and endure well. So, some final comments of how to do this. First, I think that recognizing the assistance of others will help rejuvenate our energy and motivation levels. People can be exhausted and tired. Even you think about the course of a day and like, no, I just want to shut it down. I don't want to do anything. But then they get an invitation from somebody, or there's an opportunity to do something that night or on the weekend, and they go and they realize, oh, that was really nice. I wanted to do it. So it's a small glimpse of something through the course of an individual week, but imagine the repetitive nature of that over the course of a few months. When you have a chance to connect with people, you do feel rejuvenated when that energy level can be lacking after a long winter. Of course, as a counselor, I'm going to say that if you can acknowledge any exhaustion that you have about life, it's going to be a really key step to get the needed aid that you have to deal with the low energy or low motivation. Endurance and perseverance, I would say, are extremely doable and possible for just about anybody, but to have to reveal that first is an important step. People don't know if you're struggling unless you tell them. We're all very good at having a good poker face on and presenting ourselves the same way and be able to do things. So if you can reveal even just a little bit to those closest to you that, hey, I really could use some encouragement, or no one's asked me to be able to hang out in a while or go out to eat or do something else. If you can raise that flag just a little bit, it might be that opportunity to crack through the wall that feels like it's around you and it's hard to keep going. And then finally, remembering, if you don't know what else to do to have the best resiliency as you go through these months, just sticking with that healthy pattern of eating and hydration and trying to sleep, just as a, I don't know what to do, but I'm going to make sure I'm eating regularly. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to make sure I'm hydrating as best I can and avoiding other drinks that might get me through this. And then finally, making sure you're sleeping in that good window of 7 to 9 hours, not too much, not too little, and communicate with those around you. It's a good way to just get to the next step, get to the next right thing that you're going to have available to you, and be able to go forward. So, an important topic to talk about as we wrap up winter, about persevering and enduring, because January can be really long, February can be long, and so can March as we go into these final months of winter. But it is easier when we connect with others. We know we've said that around the gym. It's one of our cornerstones that we have around here for community and connectedness with others. So whether it is just coming to the gym, we know we can do that often throughout the course of a week. But if there's other activities that people invite you to, say yes, try something new. Or be creative on your end and think, I'm doing something, maybe somebody else could benefit from that and do well as they get through the next few weeks and months. So good to see everybody. Nice to be back. Next week, there is a basketball game on a Tuesday night away game. So I will not be here at 5 or 6. We'll film at 9 and kick off a new month and a new topic, and I'll look forward to that. And finally, go Bears, as we probably will have a rematch with the Packers, right? So hopefully I show up again with one of these on a Wednesday, and we'll just move on otherwise if the Bears don't win that game. All right. Thank you. All right.